Hey From Software, it's me, Matty. I've been thinking about you guys a lot, and I honestly miss you. I've just been wondering what you're up to, and I'm your biggest fan. Just kidding. We're not going to turn this letter into that song that everyone likes to quote and use when they're making their own letters to things they're big fans of. But seriously, where's Elden Ring at? I can't help but wonder. It's been so long and... trash. Salutations everybody, it is Matty here, and you guessed it, we're talking about Elden Ring today. Now, Elden Ring is a game that up and vanished. You know, it was revealed at Microsoft's E3 2019 conference, and all of us were on that hype train. A lot of people were like, yeah, we just got Sekiro, and now we're gonna get some more FromSoft goodness, this time in the form of Elden Ring, which is gonna be this open world adventure. We're gonna have the story guided by George R.R. Martin. It seems like a match made in heaven. There's gonna be these various kingdoms. There's just so much potential with Elden Ring. Now, we did cover a leak a number of weeks ago that seemed to have some sense of credibility to it. It was gaining a lot of traction throughout the industry. That ended up being false. That was discussing a reveal date, some gameplay, some boss elements, all that stuff. We don't know if the other aspects ended up being true, but we were supposed to see some level of screenshots for Elden Ring. That ended up turning into absolutely nothing. So with that in mind, people have wondered, when are we exactly going to see Elden Ring? The expectation was at the Xbox Game Showcase. Given the reveal at E3 2019 during Microsoft's conference, people thought that 1 year later there would be some kind of reunion when it came to Elden Ring. But Jeff Grubb, and by the way, this is gonna be the Jeff Grubb special. My man is like the new Jason Schreier. He's in all my friggin' videos. He's constantly drip feeding information about games that I care about, so get used to hearing Jeff Grubb. We need like a nickname for this guy, something like a Mr. Matty kind of nickname for Jeffy Grubb, because he's gonna be name dropped a lot in this video, and I just need to give him that special amount of treatment, right? Like, he's providing something for us. We need to give him like a good name or something like that. So we're gonna get to brainstorming something with Grubb eating. I'm sure he hasn't heard that joke before, but anyway, he did shoot down the possibility of Elden Ring being at the Xbox Game Showcase via emoji, which yeah, interesting way to do it. We already know that came and went. There was no Elden Ring, so concerns have started to grow. Is something wrong with the development of this game? Is it in development hell? What's happening there? We'll shift into that part of the discussion later on in the video. Let's keep talking about some upcoming events. Gamescom, and of course, the Game Awards, both hosted by Jeff Keighley and his team. Will we see anything at either of these shows when it comes to Elden Ring? Let's start off with Gamescom, which is coming up relatively soon. Here's what Jeff Grubb had to say about Elden Ring at Gamescom. Jeff, please, which do you think is more likely to be shown at Gamescom, Bakugan or Elden Ring? To which Jeff tells us Bakugan is the most likely candidate. You know, I remember, just a little off topic for a sec, when Bakugan was revealed, I wasn't hyped for that secret game announcement from Nintendo during that little mini direct they did, but when I saw Bakugan, it was literally a PS2 game. I was mind blown that that had any type of slot on a direct. It was actually incredible. So with Gamescom out of the way and Jeff seemingly showing he knows something, considering how accurate his leaks have been, and as he's continued to become a more and more reliable source in our industry, people shifted their attention going, okay, no Gamescom for Elden Ring, what about the Game Awards? Well, Jeff answered that. This time it's in a YouTube comment, which, yeah, very rarely do we actually pull from the YouTube comment section, but here we go. Jeff, can you please put us out of our misery? In your opinion, will we get Elden Ring news this year? Clearly we won't get the game in 2020, but how about a trailer or something? Jeff says, I don't think we'll get Elden Ring news this year, with the possible exception of the Game Awards. So I think the commenter is correct, and I do believe that Jeff's response really indicates there is some accuracy there, that this obviously isn't coming out this year. We're nearing the final quarter of a very, very long year. It seems like, if anything, this is going to be a 2021 game, and I think that's good for a new game coming out this year, which is in that Soulsborne genre. It's called Mortal Shell. I'm sure anyone who pays attention to that genre at all is already on top of this game, but this seems to be the title that people are shifting their attention to now that we know there's really no Elden Ring this year. It looks like a really strong Soulsborne experience, very much inspired by Souls, mind you. I watched my boy Fighting Cowboy play a little bit. Looks like a solid game, but anyway, if you're looking for a bit of a distraction, something to pull you into this type of genre once more and give you a little fix, maybe do check out Mortal Shell. It's had a lot of great impressions. Okay, so no Game Awards, no Gamescom. Something happened, right? This was revealed in June of 2019, and you'd imagine between then and now we'd at least get, I don't know, screenshots, some type of verbal update letting us know what's happening with the development of this game. Now, this has all been a lot of guesswork in this video, so I will continue on that route, saying that I think there was a delay because of the new consoles. Now, we saw this a little bit with a random game, but it's gonna make sense in a sec. Temtem. Temtem is that Pokemon-like game that's now coming to PlayStation 5. Originally, development was slated for the PS4 and Xbox One. However, they pushed it back and it's now on the PS5 and it's coming out in 2021. My thoughts are that considering that Elden Ring is designed to be this open world game, it's gonna be much larger than most FromSoft games. We're hearing about horseback riding. There's a lot of scale to this game already, and granted it's words on paper, we don't know how they're going to handle it with design, but I imagine this vision grew and grew and grew, and they thought to themselves, this either runs better, plays better, or is more feasible on a new generation of consoles where there is more power. So I'm starting to think that instead of showing off something in 2020 that wouldn't exactly represent the final product, and in fact that product may be bogged down, come out in 2021 and show a little something more for it. This is a brand new IP, so it does need, in my opinion, time to be marketed by From Software. So there is that worth considering, but I think personally that they have moved development back just to fit the new generation of consoles. I don't know if this exactly means it'll not be a cross-gen game at all. I think that's too deep of a dive for me to wager a guess on, but I would not be surprised at all if they said, hey, this is a, we'll say, summer 2021 game, and it is coming to next-gen consoles. That really wouldn't catch me off guard all too much, because the silence is extremely strange. It's either that or the game is really stuck in a bad place, and that would be so unfortunate because a lot of people are really excited for Elden Ring. There's so much anticipation for this large-scale Souls-like project. The way that it's been described in interviews, at least for me, sounds like the ideal type of experience from them, what we've all really wanted. So we all want this project to pull through. It's just a matter of what exactly is happening, and this is why sometimes people don't want games announced too early. Maybe they didn't anticipate their vision growing as much, maybe they didn't anticipate these types of issues when they did announce it, but it already felt pretty soon because people were just coming off of Sekiro, and then we got Elden Ring almost immediately. So this may have been a preemptive announcement for whatever reason. I am unsure. Maybe Microsoft said, hey, please come to our show, reveal your brand new game, it'll help us out. I don't know, man. I really don't know how that type of stuff works. And that's just one thing I don't like about the games industry, if I'm flat out honest, is the exception of a lack of information. I'm not saying these companies need to rush out their products, but the core of this very discussion is the next generation of systems, something that we have an absolute lacking amount of info on. We only just learned that Xbox Series X is dropping this November, as it lost Halo Infinite for its launch window, which is even crazier. When it comes to the PlayStation though, they're stumbling out the gate like it's nobody's business. It's actually wild. We don't know a price, we don't know a release date, now we just know a window for Xbox. Oh boy, throw a party. It blows my mind how the games industry is so used to not spreading information, and I think it's because of the fact that game development can change so quickly. Things can go south incredibly fast, and I do understand that, but it comes at the sake of the consumer. And when we're heading into a new generation and we don't have any information on these gigantic purchases, when the economy is going down the tubes, I don't know, man. I think part of it's that they don't know how much they can sell them for, but on the other hand, from the outside looking in, it's just wild on a larger perspective how little we can have information in this industry and how easily acceptable it is for most people. And these companies definitely take advantage of that, that's for damn sure. Something's happening with Elden Ring. It's really confusing, but all we know right now is you can safely not expect information coming out this year at any of the major shows. Maybe the Game Awards to sort of set the stage for 2021. That would be good to see. I think that would be smart to give us a little something. I think the radio silence in the games industry is really harmful to consumers. And part of it is just because, you know, we're impatient. We just want to hear something about the game. But I really do feel like communication is always key. And I feel like a lot of these companies just fall off the radar. And I'm not saying go tell us that your game's in development hell. I'm sure that's not a good look for your company. But something along the lines of, hey, we are delaying this game a little bit until we can figure out when we want to release this. At least then we know the situation. I don't think that level of communication is all that bad, but that's just me, a YouTuber in a chair. So I'll leave you guys with my thoughts. What do you think about Elden Ring and everything going down with it? Fire away in the comments down below. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below. Big thank you to all of the patrons who continue to kill it with the support here. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will talk to you soon. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.